Hey, what's up, guys? So it looks like I'm getting a rematch here with Free to Play Wiv Ya Mum. And so let's just jump over so you can see the rankings here, because we're pretty close. So currently I'm at 130 and he's at 135. That's pretty much the closest I've seen. And so let's just take a quick look at his defense and my defense. Well, actually, here's a quick look at the ranking. These are his stats, and here are my stats. I'm trying a little bit of a different look with some of my defense here, so we'll see how this goes. And this is what my opponent's running on defense. So I'm going to try to map out some counters here, guys, and then we'll get started. So one of my opponents used full new warriors last week, and he was really able to just get a great efficiency on my Orchis, a full Orchis. And I noticed Updog did a 1.2 mil punch up on the counter sheet. And so basically your first two moves, you do have to go in on the bot as a normal sequence, which you do with your new warriors. But for me, what I wanted to do, and I think most likely a good play, is to spread with the death pools special to make sure you hit Scientist Supreme. So that was my plan here, to get some damage on her, as you don't want her to revive anybody. And so the next thought was, well, who do I really target here? And I said, it got to be Lady Deathstrike, because she's the biggest threat. And fortunately, she does get blinded, so this really keeps my team alive. And at this point, it's like, well, let's just put some damage in on her, and then who do I take out with the Death Pool's ult? And so I wasn't sure if it should be Lady Deathstrike or the Scientist Supreme, because she can revive somebody. So I said, I'm gonna take out the Scientist Supreme. Perhaps the Lady Deathstrike is the better move, because as you see here, my efficiency won't be great because she's really hard to kill. And so my thought is, the next time I try this, I'll probably try and take out the Lady Deathstrike and then just go all in on the Scientist Supreme. But as a result, I mean, it wasn't a great efficiency, and it was a learning experience. So it's something to keep in mind when you guys do see a full Orchis, that you can use your new warriors, and to just try to make sure that you put some damage in on this Lady Deathstrike, and maybe she's priority target, and then Scientist Supreme is the one that has to go next. So I was pretty sure the Mercs could beat this team, and my concern was the Doom. It's like, so how do I get an ability block on the Doom, or just take him out before he can try to get the Skrull going, and then this thing just turn into a disaster? But my thought is, we know Proxima Knight is faster than Skrull, so going with her, and then maybe we can get Old Man Logan going. And so that was the plan. It's like, put Proxima in the middle, so when she dies, you have your Panda Pool and your Dead Pool that'll have an island from your two real damage dealers. The thing that happened here is that the Sasquatch took all the first hits. I was not able to get off his taunt. And so that became a concern, because like, I'm definitely going to have to use this special here and just see what I can get going. And so fortunately, his Doom was not small enough to get pushed or really get brought down, because like, I got to use Old Man Logan's special here. And so when I saw that the Doom was still in the green, I figured I had a chance. And the next play here, I still wanted to try to see if I could get some type of ability block on the Doom, but I couldn't. So the biggest thing here was to target the Doom with Old Man Logan's ult. And you can see all the damage done, the trauma. He's very weak. He looks like he's going to bleed out. And then I was like, well, maybe we can kill him. We got the assist. And so from here, I know the team is going to revive. And so at this point, it's just whether or not I can get a decent efficiency out of this. If not, the main thing is just get the clear. And the main target, of course, is Skrull. But the Skrull does go stealth a couple times, so it's like you got to alternate your targets. And so when that happens, it's like, well, I'll just go ahead and take out this Guardian, because we don't want him to really just cause any more damage. Hopefully not make sure that my docking is taken out of play. And at this point now, it's just all in on the Skrull. I think I put it on auto and like just let it play out. And we'll see how it goes with the ultimate efficiency after this is over. going into this match, I was thinking, how can I one-shot everything? And I thought this might be my best chance is to go in with Illuminati. But as you'll quickly see, I cannot get around the Guardian. Now, perhaps when I'm going in right here, I should have used the ult, but I was more concerned with getting the safeguard, and I don't think that really mattered at this point. And I don't know that the ult would have made a difference either. But at the end of the day, I'm stuck behind the taunt, and there's no way to try to do any damage to the Odin, which I'm not even sure that they could kill the Odin if they were able to start putting some damage in on him before he does his special. The main thing here is that once Odin does do a special, it becomes very clear that this team does not have a chance. And so when that happens, I back out, because at the end of the day, I've already gone in, and in order to save this team, I'm not going to be able to exhaust the Odin. And so I have to think about how I'm going to one-shot him. And so my first thought is, well, I have Odin on offense. I'm going to have to use Odin against this team. And that means my Mephisto room, perhaps, or my opponent's pistol room, perhaps I can go in with Illuminati and one-shot that. So that was the plan. And as you can see here, that move right there said, hey, this is over. Let's just back out. Try Illuminati against Mephisto in Spider Society. Now the thing is I beat this in a room 1. Clearly the assists make a big difference if they're in room 1. And this is room 6. And so as I'm looking at how I'm trying to go into this, the idea is to still go in on Mephisto. And when I get to the Captain Britain's, well, actually Hank's turn here, it's like, do I do the ult or do I do the special? And so once again, I opted for the special. I don't know if doing the ult here would have made a difference or not. But at the end of the day, this team put in the damage that it could, and it wasn't enough. And so it's like, well, once I got here, it's like, I don't know that I can beat them, you know, because I'm not really getting any damage put in, and I'm not slowing them down. And so the hope was just to keep on going. And if I don't win, I'm going to have to use this as a sack and just, you know, move on from that. But in the meantime, it's like, you got to try to beat this team. So let's just go in. Let's play as systematically as you would in trying to beat them if they were in room 1. Now, when the 3-piece here went stealth, it's like, okay, you're going to have to zero in on the penny. And I think at some point I get stuck behind the penny's taunt. But I did try to spread the damage. I tried to incapacitate the Peter, and I wasn't able to do that. And so you see now I'm ability blocking. It's like, well, what do you do? Let's just try to see what we can do to the penny. I don't think Penny ulted yet, but when Penny ults, it's like pretty much this is just going to be a sack. As you see here, the team is just on full health. I've not put in any damage on the team, and I've definitely not put any damage in on Mephisto. And so I think if you see this team in room 6, your best bet is just go ahead and do the double sack and then take it out whatever you would normally do, which that's what I end up doing here. So we just let it play. You'll see how I make the attempts. And then the main thing after this team is not able to win, I said, well, I'm still pretty far away from the Mephisto ult, so what I'll do is I'll sack it and not pull abilities. And so the idea behind that is to go in with a Black Order or Secret Defenders, or not Secret Defenders, a Death Seed. And so I went in with Death Seed, and you'll see that I sacked it. And so that's what was going through my mind at this point, is just to get the sack in, get this as the best sack I can do to put in a little bit of damage and pull some of the abilities from, you know, the Spider Society, and not get close to Mephisto's ult again. And then that way when I sack it, to just prepare it for the Secret Defenders Eternals. And so that plan, because I've seen it work so well, was to go with the full-time version of the 3-piece of the Secret Defenders, and then just kind of make light work with the cleanup here. So when it comes to placement, I do like to have Black Cat in the middle and the Eternals in the back. I don't know if that really makes a difference or not. I think some guys have put Eternals both on the same side, but I prefer it this way. And so the goal is just to hit the two major characters here I think that will cause the most problem against this team, and that's going to be Mephisto. So as you're going to see, I'm going to go right in on Mephisto with Black Cat. I'm going to stun him and then put the ability block on the Peter. And I think that really just sets it up for it to be a kind of a safe counter. I don't know that it really matters who you target with the, well, here you definitely want to blind the Penny and the Pavitra. As you see here, Pavitra's missing. And so when you go in with the ult here, I don't know if it really matters who you target. I decided to target Mephisto. I kept the target on Mephisto, and I think I kept the target on Mephisto until the Robbie did his ult. And then that way I was for sure to get enough damage in on him. And so at this point, I think Photon comes in with her passive, and then it's pretty much game over. So perhaps there is a way to beat this team with the offense that I had and not use Odin, but I figured, well, you know, the Superior 6 does well against Annihilators, and I have Big Boy Odin, he has Little Odin, so I should be able to win this, and that was the game plan. The thing that really helps here is that the Superior 6 goes first, and so that allows my Odin to go first. And so because of the way the Superior 6 team is designed, I'm able to get off of the taunt from the Gladiator pretty quickly and then just start targeting the Odin. Now you see in this case, their Odin went much sooner than he did in the last battle, and I think that's the just how Illuminati works. But at the end of the day, if you're going to try to one-shot this team, I think you do need, at the moment, you need your Odin, and you probably want to go in with Superior 6 like I did here. And you do need a very strong Superior 6, as you can see, so they can survive what Odin does to them. But after that, it's pretty, it's a pretty easy win. It's not that I don't think this is in jeopardy because I've gone against a big Odin when I had the little Odin, so I know if it comes down to a 1v1, the little Odin just can't win. The main thing I was looking at here was I didn't want any of my Superior 6 to die. You see how close they are to dying. And I'm like, well, if they can all live, that'll help the efficiency some, even though they're really weak. And so that was just the focus. But at the end of the day, Odin is so powerful. It's just all about just making sure you get the clear. At this point, I was thinking I dropped 3 rooms, so how do I recover from that? Because I didn't know if my opponent was only going to drop 2 rooms. My hope was that my defense would be strong enough to make him drop at least 3 or 4. And so I've done similar counters with this with a Darkhold type team. There's really no need to worry about Safeguard here, so I wasn't worried about the Ares. And so the only thing I want to do is just change them all to Striker. I don't even know that it was necessary to change them to Striker. The main thing is the Ultimates really sets this up. So you can see that he puts in enough damage to get rid of the Black Knight. I wasn't sure if I should target the Noir, but I did anyway just to make sure I put a ability block. And so it just so happens all the assists really took the Noir out. And at this point I wanted to target the Ares. I wasn't sure he died there, but since he did, it's like, okay, well, let's just shift over to Agatha. I know Agatha's pretty tanky, and we'll see if we can get rid of Agatha. Ultimates with all the extra damage from Cabal just made this a really easy counter and really nothing to worry about. And so as you guys have seen, I've done this counter a lot. It doesn't matter if you have Dorm in here. Apoc with the Masters of Evil makes light work of this. The main thing I try to do here is the opening move, I want to put it on the Rogue. And so after that, I want to take the Kang special and put it on Nightcrawler. Whoever is adjacent, that's fine. It just doesn't matter because we want to really try to slow down this Nightcrawler. And I think at this point I went ahead and stunned the Nightcrawler too because he was so strong, just to make sure that I didn't have any problems out of him. And so as I work my way over to the Ultimates, his ult, I think what I want to do here is target the Rogue and then Falcon Punch on the Forge. But at the end of the day, I don't know that it makes a huge difference because Apoc just makes this team so strong. I would suggest that however you do it, you're just able to get over to the Forge and Falcon Punch the Forge, no matter how weak he looks, so that you don't have any threat of him speeding up the team. And so as you see here, I think the only other thing I could have done to maybe make this a little bit better is put the target on the on the Gambit. Even though my my king is a raider in this one, perhaps he'd have gotten an assist or something like that to finish this out a little bit quicker. But the main thing is to get the clear, as I had experimented with the Illuminati, and it's like, well, you just want to clear every room from here on out.
Skrull.